Hey there, pirates. Welcome aboard the Anime No Me channel. To this day, we believe that Robin is the only living person capable of accurately reading what is written on the poneglyphs and road poneglyphs, making her one of the few people in the world capable of uncovering the history of the past, as well as the legendary weapons. One of these weapons is the legendary Uranus, and in today's video, I'm going to reveal to you why this weapon is a sword and how it will be used by Zoro. Not only that, but I'll also reveal everything we know about Uranus. So go ahead and leave your like on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and this way you can comment on which One Piece sword you would like to win. Guys, Uranus is one of the three ancient weapons that existed during the Void Century, along with Poseidon and Pluton. It was first mentioned during Nico Robin's conversation with King Neptune in chapter 650 of the manga, when she says there are three ancient weapons named after gods. After that, we never heard anything more about this great weapon, including its form, which has remained hidden. Legend says that the god Uranus, or Coelus, the first king of the universe, personified the sky. According to Hesiod, a Greek poet who probably lived in the 7th century BC, Uranus was both the son and husband of Gaia, the goddess born immediately after the original chaos, also known as Titia, Ops, Telos, Vesta, and Cybele. In his book Theogony, which deals with the genealogy and birth of the gods, Hesiod says that from this union were born several gods and demigods, around 45, according to some authors. Among them were Oceanus, Iapetus, Themis, Kronos, the Titans, the Cyclopes, and the Hecaton Keras, the 100-handed ones, three giants named Briareus, Cottus, and Gyges, each possessing 100 arms and 50 heads, whom the Romans called centimani. Worried about such fertility and fearing that one of his children might grow and take his place as the great god, Uranus began to bury the newborns in Gaia's body, where they were then called Tartarus. Unable to accept this, Gaia devised a way for her children to take revenge, but only Kronos heeded her. Guided by his mother, who had given him a blade, one day he surprised his father and castrated him while he was with his wife, and from the drops of blood that fell on her, the Erinyes and the giants were born. This violent act separated the sky from the earth and marked the end of Uranus's reign over the cosmos. Thus, we can imagine the connection between the sword and this myth, seen in the idea of a sword capable of even overthrowing the reign of a god, making it a legendary blade. Returning to One Piece, the ancient weapons bear the names of gods, but only as a reference to something in their history, a specific point chosen by the author, Oda. Here, we can imagine how Nico Robin might discover more about the last of the weapons, Uranus, and how it could be the legendary sword that Zoro will wield at the end of One Piece. Let's go. It's impossible not to mention some of the speculations already happening related to Uranus. Almost everyone believes there is confirmation that this weapon is in the possession of Im-sama due to the attack that took place in Lulusia. This is because we saw a massive attack from the sky that destroyed the kingdom of Lulusia, and it was confirmed by Vegapunk that the destruction could only have been caused by one of the ancient weapons, powered by the Mother Flame. However, it was never confirmed which weapon was used. Obviously, we're not talking about Poseidon, but we don't know which of the ancient weapons was used at that moment. It could very well be Uranus, but it could also have been an attack from Pluton. In any case, the person who will discover more information about this ancient weapon, as with all the others, will be Robin. And if Uranus really is a sword, the perfect wielder would be Zoro. After all, we have to consider that instead of creating a sword exactly based on the Titan Uranus and his legend, the sword could have received that name because it is the weapon capable of defeating the legendary Titan. In this case, it would be a sign that it is the most powerful sword ever to exist. Even if it is in the hands of the world government, it would still make sense that after some battle, especially in the final battle, Zoro would come to wield it, thus bringing the One Piece story to a definitive conclusion, and finally realizing his dream of becoming the greatest swordsman in the world. In this way, Oda could have misled all the fans and surprised them with the true form of the last ancient weapon. It's worth noting that this isn't the only plausible possibility. After all, we know that the ancient weapons were produced through the advanced technology and knowledge of the Great Kingdom, which may still be thousands of years ahead of the current world's knowledge in One Piece, as all wisdom was erased along with the Void Century. However, they somehow managed to create a power passed down through generations of living beings in the case of Poseidon, which indicates that Uranus could truly be anything. Many fans who support this theory argue that unlike Pluton, which is a land-based weapon, and Poseidon, which is connected to the sea, Uranus would have a relationship with the sky or space, especially due to its name. flame. In Greek mythology, Uranus was the god of the sky, representing the vast firmament that covers the earth. Following this logic, many believe Oda may have given Uranus the form of a vessel capable of controlling or dominating the skies, flying over the world and spreading destruction in a manner similar to what Pluton can do in the seas. And as we saw the massive attack coming from the sky in Lulusia, for many this was a confirmation. After all, we know that this attack was caused by the power or the same level of power as an ancient weapon. And in this way, for many, it was the confirmation of Uranus being a ship. Another possibility recently proposed by fans is that Uranus, one of the 3 ancient weapons, could be an ancient dragon. This theory gains strength from the revelation that the ancient weapons are not necessarily objects or inanimate constructions, as shown with Poseidon, who is actually incarnated in the form of Shirahoshi, a mermaid capable of controlling the Sea Kings. This opens up the possibility that Uranus could also be a living entity, and the idea of an ancient dragon connects directly to mythology and the symbolism of the sky and aerial power. Recently, a new element was introduced into the One Piece storyline, the Mother Flame, a mysterious form of energy, an alternative energy source created by Vegapunk. It was designed to be the inextinguishable flame that would allow Vegapunk and his satellites to create their own sun. As I mentioned, the Mother Flame was used for mass destruction in the attack on Lulusia Island, literally wiping the kingdom off the map in an instant. Many fans began speculating that the Mother Flame might be directly related to Uranus. If Uranus is in fact an ancient dragon, it's possible that the Mother Flame is the means of controlling or awakening the power of this creature. The attack on Lulusia, which seemed like an attack from the sky, recalls the kind of destruction that a flying creature like a colossal dragon could cause. Could the idea that the world government already has partial or full access to Uranus and is using it in secret fits well with the larger narrative of absolute control that the government seeks to exert. The fact that Lulusia was attacked with such precision and force also suggests that the government possesses a weapon capable of unleashing large-scale destruction, reinforcing the connection between Uranus and the Mother Flame. Due to the name of this energy, many people link it to a dragon, although, to be honest, this seems to be the least likely possibility. Additionally, many believe that the Uranus weapon was found and hidden by the Pirate King, Gol D. Rogers, something that many know, as Shiki even attacked Rogers' crew with his massive fleet in an attempt to gain the power of that weapon. At that moment, an unnecessary battle did not occur, only because of an attack from the skies, a natural attack caused by a change in the weather. At this point, many people believe that the power of Uranus had been used non-lethally, just to drive Shiki's forces away, which makes sense. It wouldn't have been the full power of Uranus. Not only that, but this weapon may not have been as strong back then as the one used in the Lulusia, even if it was the same weapon. That's because it didn't yet have the strength of the Mother Flame created by Vegapunk, and for that reason, its powers increased greatly. The revelation of Uranus is still one of the most anticipated moments, especially because its reveal means that all 3 ancient weapons will be used. Whatever the form or function of this weapon may be, it will certainly have a huge impact on the story. If Uranus is an ancient dragon or a ship, this could drastically change the power dynamics in the world of One Piece. But if it's a sword, it would bring an epic shift to the plot. After all, only Zoro could wield such a weapon, and that's what we can expect. Now, I want to know what you think about this comment below. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.